Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, for those of you who don't know. So the 24th and the 25th, I got a lot of downloads, a lot of messages, a lot of visions, dreams. So I was keeping track of everything, and we're gonna do 2 readings. And so the first one, a vision of and dream of someone walking away from their family, or someone leaving, I guess, their old life behind. So in the dream, there was a lot of Star Wars metaphors. And so someone may have lost either their mother or just a family, but in the dream it seemed like the mother was lost, the father was very militant, maybe even a bit of a tyrant, but very strong militant kind of energy. And then there was like a sister, and it feels like the sister was younger, could have been older, but it seemed like she was completely oblivious to everything that was going on. She wasn't facing any of it, and she was just focused on moving forward, and yeah, like didn't seem to care about any of what was happening, and had her back to everything. So I'm not sure who that's for, but take what resonates and leave the rest. So I made points, and so the underlying energy that I picked up on is firefly, unicorn, and a golden egg. So there's a masculine fire spirit that has awakened and is signaling in the dark to his counterpart. He's stepped into his heart, and yeah, he's listening. He's in his upper 3 chakras, so he's listening to the divine. He's in his feelings. Yeah, so I went ahead and I pulled from the manga tarot that I have, and we got the King of Wands. So yeah, fire spirit, the King of Wands, he's in this massive creative energy, followed by the Hierophant. So he is studying his beliefs and his morals, and he's in contemplation, and it feels like he's really standing his ground in what he wants for himself, followed by the Ace of Cups. So he's really allowing his feelings and his vulnerability to wash over him, heading towards the Queen of Wands. So we both have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands together, which is really conducive with fireflies, because fireflies signal up in the air, and then the females are down on the bottom, on the ground usually, which is, if you see fireflies, then be careful where you're stepping, because you'll be stepping on all of the partners and the mates. 8 of Cups, yeah, so he's walking away from what he had, and he's moving towards the feminine, the moon. He's being guided by his beliefs and what he believes and knows to be true in his heart and his soul. And then followed by the King of Pentacles. So I feel like he's really reached a status that he's happy with in himself, and he's ready to come forward. So I think that's such a strong reading right now. And then also yesterday I got this message of like, there's all these birds and feathers and everything. And it made me think of like, oh, so in the dream, there was this vintage white car, and it looked like a Thunderbird, because it had like, on the back tail end of the car, it had like, and then it had like the wings kind of thing. And I know there's another car, but I can't remember the name of it. And then it had one of those old like push tabs of the door, because it was like the feminine was trying to open the door and get him out, and telling him, you know, that he doesn't need to listen to all of this anger and all of this like strict anger and drama and everything about a family who obviously doesn't care about him, his feelings and his needs, or what he even wants. And yeah, and he left, and then it was a sad moment, but you know, I feel like he's freed himself and he's evolved into like a Thunderbird. So, which I thought was funny, because then it made me think of Pokemon. So, the legendary birds, right? I posted it yesterday on my stories, I think, or it could have been the day before. The days are blending. Yeah, so there's 3 legendary birds, where one was a Thunderbird, in clouds and lightning, storm, and storm energy's been coming out. And then there was one that was like a Firebird, kind of like a phoenix. And then the other one is a water that deals with ice. So yeah, so we have, you know, elements, and again with opposites of fire, water, and then feminine and masculine together as like storm and lightning. So really cool. So let's get on. So let's find out about this King of Wands. Yeah, he was trying to balance his money, and then his masculine and feminine qualities, and then judgment. So he was calling judgment on the people around him. That's too many. Calling on the judgment of the people around him and on himself. What can I get for the Hierophant, please? What can I get for the Hierophant, please? Spirit, what can you tell me about the Hierophant, please? What is this masculine been learning about his morals? The 7 of Swords. I feel like he's carrying his burden away. Yeah, he's leaving parental advice. He's leaving the parents or whatever behind, and he's taking his own, and he's manning up. And he's happy about it. Look at the smile on his face, right? And it's and with all of the clothing in flow motion, right? He's carrying his own emotions. He's leveling himself up, and he's heading towards freedom. And Temperance came out upside down. So Temperance is, it's about tempering your emotions, tempering life. It's about balance. But upside down, Temperance can also mean the double-edged sword. So for instance, you may walk away from your family and it may be the best thing for you, but it doesn't mean that it's not hard, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt and you wish that it were different. I was just thinking of something and I lost it. There's something that popped up, I don't know, maybe a week ago or something. I don't even know how long ago it was, but I guess I can't. Double-edged sword. What can I get for the Ace of Cups, please? The Magician. Yeah. So with the Ace of Cups, he is alchemizing his emotions and alchemizing his pain and allowing it to wash over him and free himself. That makes me happy to know that someone is stepping into their power and healing. It's really good. So what can you tell me about this Queen of Wands? So this King of Wands is coming for his Queen of Wands. What can you tell me about the Queen of Wands, please? I heard too many. Interesting. Strength came out reversed. I want another one with this. Is this for this? It's for this. I'm just wondering if the Queen of Wands that he's coming towards, I don't think this is how he sees her, because she's coming up as the Queen of Wands. So I'm just wondering if maybe he's feeling something different in her energy, where maybe she doesn't feel at her top strength. Something is off with her and he's picking up on it, right? Because he's in his Hierophant mode, right? And he's up in his upper three chakras, and then he's alchemizing and he's a magician right now. So I feel like he's picking up on something, some sort of energy within the Queen of Wands. Can I get another one for that, please? Unless he's gaining strength to come towards her, and he doesn't feel totally at his best strength right now. Okay. But I also feel like he's picking up on something from her as well. Okay. Well, what can I get as well? What can you tell me about this then? This energy of maybe not feeling at your best strength. You know, the holidays can be really rough for all of us. The Four of Cups. So it has to do with the stability. Yeah, being sad about the 3 cups you have. maybe not sad, but I feel like because it's the Queen of Wands, she's grateful. She's happy with what she has. She's hopeful. She's fiery. She's creative, right? She's the Queen of Wands. But there's also, like, she's got her eyes closed, and then there's a cup being offered that she's not seeing. So maybe he feels like the Queen of Wands is in a little bit of a weakened state. That's interesting. What can you tell me about the Eight of Cups? The Star? Yeah. He's looking at the moon, he's looking at the stars, which is his Queen of Wands. And then we also got the High Priestess, right? So this masculine thinks the absolute world of you. You are his divine counterpart. I heard he's enamored with you. And then what can you tell me about this King of Pentacles, please? What can you tell me about the King of Pentacles? Three of Swords, right? Three of Swords? Yeah, he's been hurt before, right? I'm sure you have been, the feminine has been hurt before as well, but this is about the King of Pentacles. So there has been heartache in the past. And obviously if he's walked his way from his family, that's heartache in itself, right? Oh, that's what it was. About mourning the living. Sometimes you don't just mourn the dead. Sometimes you mourn the living, and it is what it is, right? And you just have to fend for yourself and look after yourself and do what's right for you, you know? King of Cups. Okay. This masculine he's looking real strong, and he's looking real good, and it seems like he's feeling good about himself. 'Cause, I mean, he's coming up as the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles. We've got the King of Cups. So he's embodying three kings right now. That's great. He's fighting for this. Bottom of the deck is Knight of Swords. Yeah. Okay. What a really good reading. Can I get final messages? So that's pretty clear. I want to know what he's learning. What is he learning with the Hierophant? And this double-edged sword. What's he learning? Or what has he learned, I should say. What has he learned? Spirit, what is this? There we go. Okay, White Wolf. 7 is a divine number. Confidence. Okay. Guidance, trusting in your inner knowing, believe in your power, instinctual, freedom and resilience and stamina. Yeah. That's really good clarification. So he's learned to be confident in himself. He's learning to trust in his upper three chakras, right? He's trusting in his heart. He's trusting in his communication and his voice, learning to speak articulately and what he wants to express to this Queen of Wands. Standing his ground. He's following his inner guidance and his inner knowing with his third eye and his crown. Cross, which really cool because again with the Hierophant, so that's like a really good lineup. Again, divine guidance, again, destiny, spirituality, standing in his convictions, right? And again, it says emotional loss, so walking away from whatever family dynamic or even physical loss that he's endured and he's had to go through. Okay. Okay, I didn't really ask, but in my head it was kind of like that. So the Ace of Cups and the Magician, I got the Ship, right? So he's moving towards you. He's moving towards his Queen of Wands. He's going places. Adventure, enterprise, movement with the wind, traveling. Okay. What can you tell me about the Queen of Wands and this upside down Strength and this Four of Cups? What can you tell me about that? What is he seeing? Because he feels really strong. Like he's been through the ringer for sure. It's never easy. But what is he picking up on with this? Oh my God. Oh my God. What is he picking up with the Queen of Wands? Geese. On a quest, migration, relocation. Cyclical, faithful. So I'm getting the faithful. So he believes that she's faithful, but I feel like faithful, dependable, knows where you're going. I feel like he thinks that maybe she's on the move. I don't know. Or maybe she's not on the move because it's upside down. Or maybe he's moving towards her because he doesn't want to leave her behind. Okay. I feel like this masculine knows that this Queen of Wands, so this King of Wands knows that this Queen of Wands needs him. Okay. That's interesting. What else can... Oh my God. Seriously? I mean, that's a lot. All right. I'm hearing take it. So we got Uranus, bringer of disruption, which is the Fool. Yeah, so opportunity, embracing the unknown, free spirit. Yeah, she's a free spirit. She's an individual. She's a rebel without a cause. Yeah, and then being on a quest, right? The Fool goes into new beginnings. And then we have, so we'll do them in order. So we got Whip. This one was turned upside down. And 11 is divine. So because it was turned upside down, this has arguments, anger, painful, tension, fighting. So because it's the Queen and King of Wands, there may have been some tension, and maybe this feminine, this Queen of Wands, is having tension in her life right now because he's definitely gone through some tension. And if you're mirroring each other, then that's probably going on as well. And then the next one is Coffin. So death, loss, inactive, discouraged, absent-minded, followed by what is this? Summer waxing crescent. So major opportunities, celebrating the light, yep, the light, the warmth, enjoyment, positive, building strength. So if both of them are in a loss, or if she's not feeling well, right? Because we have the upside down strength, followed by her eyes being closed, almost being sleepy, not seeing, followed by death. So I'm just wondering if, and then waiting for things to unfold. I'm just wondering if this Queen of Wands is having some health issues, which is maybe why he's picking up on energy that she doesn't feel. There's like an underlying energy that she's not feeling totally, the Queen of Wands. And then we follow by the Falcon, which is rising above, strategy, skill, focus, a transition, the higher self, and far-reaching vision. Yeah. So she's going through a change as well. Okay. What can you tell me about, I mean, how he sees her? The Eight of Cups, he's looking towards her with the High Priestess and the Star, right? Mountain. Yeah. It's an obstacle. Solitude, pride, indifferent, delays. Yeah, there's been a lot of delays. There's been a lot of stubborn energy. He's had to climb the mountain, right? And other readings, like a mountainous heart. You have to get over the mountain of, you know, emotions, life, whatever it be, whatever, you know, there are multiple mountains that we have to climb. So I feel like there's definitely a challenge, and he's seeing that there's a challenge because he's seeing her in such a high light with the Star and the High Priestess, that she's a challenge worth going for. And then what can you tell me about the King of Pentacles, Three of Swords, King of Cups? This King of Cups. That's a lot. Take them. Yeah, dog. Again with the dogs. Lots of dogs coming in. Lots of supportive, man, best friend. Helpful, playful, faithful companion. A lot of faithful stuff coming in. Soulmate. And it even says there's a doctor on here, right? And with the Three of Swords and the King of Cups, maybe he himself is going through some health issues, or is seeing, you know, like his dog as, you know, a faithful companion that he can talk to, or is even going to like a therapist and talking to them. Then we have letter. So writing, communication, records, news, making contact. So yeah, he wants to make contact with you, woman. Aces, a lot of aces. Yeah, fiance, spouse, love interest, feminine energy. That's what he's looking at. The moon, again, heavy, heavy feminine energy. Intuition, fantasy, romance, affection, invitation, divine feminine, artistic. And artistic goes really well with the King and the Queen of Wands energy. And then tornado, again with the storm energy of lightning and thunder, right? He comes in like thunder and she's the lightning. Yeah, I feel like it's the end. It's over and done. And he's liberating himself, coming out of this violent ending that he had. So that's amazing. A lot of healing, a lot of fiery creative energy, and even a lot of self-care energy as well, of the mind, of the heart, and of the body itself, right? The older we get, and you don't have to be old to have, you know, health issues. We all have our crosses to bear and our burdens to carry. But this looks really good. So prepare for something amazing. I hope everybody has a great day. Peace.